Well, g'day, everybody. My name is Mith, man of 100 voices, and your dad joke VTuber. G'day, welcome on in. Happy day, everybody. Happy day. I'm somewhat sleepy. I'll be okay. I'll get good sleep tonight. Probably, maybe, hopefully. Baba meet Yappa. Yappa is you? Yappa is Ram. How's everyone's doing good today, tonight? I agree, Pseudo. G'day. Welcome on in. I hope everyone's doing good. I noticed something with yesterday's stream. And it's something that I didn't have time to fix. And I need to figure out how I'm going to fix it. And that's, my model is a little, sensitive when it comes to eye movement. I have some things to fix. G'day. Welcome on in, Leon. But yes, I noticed I had some rather strange, what's the word I'm looking for? Eye shapes? I think eye shapes. And I see my attempt at a fix did not do very well with it. Now, hold on. Please hold. What was this set to before? Hello, Neko. G'day. Welcome on in. Whenever you see the word Yappa, you think of Flintstones. Well, that makes sense because Yabba Dabba Doo, but that's Yabba, not Yappa. Let's see, what if I set you to da-ba-ba and ya-ba-ba. That's a little bit better. Sorry, live tracking, fixing, attempting. Yeah, that's the weird part. That's the part that I'm trying to fix. Maybe it's something with just the way that I have the model set up, because like, is my eye sneaking out under my eyelid like right there? Like, what is that? I'm trying to just get a closed eye. But apparently lifting my eyebrows can open my eyes, and that's a little weird. Let's see how far you can stay up this time. If it's past your bedtime, don't stay up. Just sleep healthily, get some rest. The VOD is always here, and you can catch up on things that you don't always have to catch live. And don't worry, I only stream at these times during the weekdays. Weekends are at much nicer times. Recalibration! Yeah, it's this weird thing right here where like my eye is somewhat open. I need to figure out how to stop that. God, that's strange. And it seems to have to do with the eyebrows. Okay, the settings should be in here somewhere. I wonder if... Is this left or right? That's right for some reason. Brow form right. What are you tied to? Brows. Brow, see, that makes sense. But that's all brow stuff. I'm looking for eye stuff for some reason. Well, this is stuff I'm gonna have to investigate eventually. But yeah. I need to figure out why my eyes are acting funny on this model. And unfortunately, I don't see an easy fix right now, which means there's not an easy fix. Damn. I was hoping for an easy fix. But it looks like I have some more fine-tuning to do with good old 3.0. School is BS, so you don't care much for it. Well, that's not a good, healthy approach to it. School does its best. I can't speak to school right now. I haven't been in school for quite a few years. But it's to provide you an education. And not all... Yeah, right there. What? So it seems to be tied into my eyebrow somehow. That's good to know, at least. I can fix that. School nowadays is toxic as Reddit. I can't cast an opinion on it. But the only comment I can say is don't belittle school. It is important. Even though sometimes it sucks and you don't want to do it. And there's things you just don't care about. But guess what? That's practice. Because in life, there's plenty of things that suck and you don't care about. You still gotta do them. Time for you to take screenshots and make a cheapie so you can make it into a keychain. Go right ahead, Haley. Good night, welcome on in. I crit you flirting with the wink? I'm not trying to. You okay, bro? Also, Rowan's here. And no, I wasn't trying to do winking and whatnot. I was trying to figure out, like, how can I get it so that, like, my... You alright, Rowan? He's having a little bit of a sneeze attack. I'm trying to figure out why my, like, when my eyes are closed, why does my eyebrow still try to raise the, raise my eyes? It leads to this weird-looking face where I can, like, close my eyes, but then I raise my eyebrows. And it's weird. I don't like it. And I want to see if I can fix that with a parameter, or if that's just part of it. You think it's the left eye that's wrong? Well, who's left? Your left or my left? Because this is my left. Yeah, it seems to be like my right eye. Hang on, I have one idea. This might not fix it immediately, but it might fix it for now. Debating working on your Kirby OC or just chilling and watching? Your call. I'm just gonna be yapping into the wind today. You took your keychain with you on a cruise and to Disney? Oh, that's awesome! It's on its own adventure. We can fix it with magic. I'm fresh out of magic, though. You don't know why, but when you see my avatar, you think of Jujutsu Kaisen background character? Hell yeah! It's what I'm going for, I guess. Let's see. I wonder if exaggerating it. All right, so that goes there. Let's try it over here. Nope. Because again, whatever I'm trying to fix, I clearly have the wrong parameter grabbed. Oh no. Oh no, what's that? Fucking Christ. Good eye, Phantoms. Thank you for that. Are you a demon? Cause damn you to hell. Oh, what a classic. Man, I just want to sit here and I want to fix what's going on so that I can, like, be normal and whatnot and everything's fine, and I can't. I'm upset because I have so many parameters to change and so many different tools to do it in. I don't know what's causing it, and I'm upset. I'm mad. I'm mad. Damn it. Man, I just want to make sure everything's okay. Is that too much to ask? I don't really want to manipulate model stuff while live. I think that's a dangerous thing to do. You need to pay money to see the message? What do you mean? Why is it just $5? I mean, technically a super chat is any price. I don't think I put a limit on it. Maybe it's 99 cents, but yeah, you don't need to pay money. The channel is 100% free. But there are what I call paid DLC options. You can do stuff. But that does cost money. Don't spend money if you don't have it, or you can spend it on better stuff. Go spend it on better stuff. And what you need is someone to steal the new weave? No. No, 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 no. Definitely no. Leave that alone. Do not disclose your age online. iPhone problems, iPhone problems. It's been a while since you've taken the weave? Yes, especially since you still haven't. I don't know what you mean. Can't wait for the part 2 of the final season of Beastars tomorrow. I didn't even know there was. I never followed Beastars. It was never my cup of tea. Mythical grade crit. Pyro, good eye, good eye. Shouldn't you be sleeping by now? And this is bad. I'm starting to hyperfixate on the fact that I can't fix my model live, and that's starting to bug me. Not good. No nom nom. No nom nom. It does feel nice just to do it. A yapping every now and again. But I really wish I had more prepared stuff. No, eat grass. Don't eat the grass. Leave the grass alone. Especially now. It's cold outside if you're in the northern hemisphere. I guess if you're in the southern hemisphere, it's getting cold right now, so be careful. You literally have it taste bland. Well, don't do it again. That's not for humans. You think best time stream is when we can yap? It's a nice one, but it definitely puts me on edge because I don't feel like I have like the next minutes planned, so I don't know what's gonna happen next, which means it's up in the air. And what happens if there's a dead space? What happens if something goes wrong? All of that stuff, and it makes me nervous. But I think it'll be fine. Temp's pretty high down below the equator. That's right. I guess it is still summer, and it's just entering fall in southern hemisphere. We just need to touch the grass. When did the expectations update? Which patch? Which patch of grass or which patch to life? Double entendre. Hi, Crit. 10K. Good eye. Welcome on in. Also, several plants we eat are technically grass, such as corn. Okay, we don't have to get into the details there, Neko. You do have a valid point. You are technically correct. The best kind of correct. But lawn grass is not something we eat. That's why it's fun. We just make you stress. That sounds fun for one, not me. And I care about the me fun. And then you'll become bald. I mean, I haven't set up that toggle, but I could. That's an option. I should look into that toggle. I don't want to look into that toggle, but I could. And then grow a mustache. Again, this model has a lot of options. Not interested in that. We're not going the bald mustache route. Patch 20.26. Well said. And after that, you'll become Dr. Eggman. Things are being said. You got news? What's that? Man, I'm being baited real fast. Patches have been getting worse since 20.25, let me tell you. Very true. What could it look like with a silver chain? Or maybe a Witcher necklace? The same, probably? Loki got a new idea for drawing that would have the words nom nom in it. I'm frightened, but happy for you, I think. Also, yeah, don't eat long grass. Yes, it's technically edible, but it has poor nutritional value. Makes sense, compared to most other grasses, native or otherwise. Look at you coming in with the science. That's awesome. You're in a band now. Hell yeah! I was in a band once. Actually, I was in like 3. If you count like school band and marching band as 2 separate ones. You think being high on lack of sleep is doing stuff to you? It does happen when you reach the, I like to call it the sleepy stupor. And the easiest way to fix that is to go to fuck to sleep. On my avatar, forgot to put that in. Where? Oh, yeah, the whole chain thing. Again, probably the same, just with a different necklace. Okay, well, at least I figured out how that face is happening, and now I can eventually, not now, look into how I can fix these little, I'm gonna say facial cues. That's the way I'm going to phrase it. You were in a rubber band once. I was in a band once, said Grandpa. I'm uncle status at best, and we know this. You were in a band once, then you took a wrong note to the knee. Gray would be the kid playing the flute. You got flute vibes? I never played the flute. Could never make it make sound. Had terrible embouchure for it. You want to annoy me? You have strange whims. You keep at that, but go the fuck to sleep. We only grow long grass because royals in England grew it in their lawns. Huh. You want something good for the environment and that looks pretty, grow clover lawn instead. Fascinating. I never knew that was a English transport reason. Can confirm he's known as Uncle Crit in the house. Damn it. It's kind of accurate though. Also, you like how reactive the model is, especially the eyes? Agreed. Which is why I want to fix this, like, little weird eye twitch that's happening. That apparently my eyebrows are controlling the inner sides of my eyelids. And apparently at the right and or, I guess maybe we could describe it as the wrong angle, it just tracks funny. So I need to find out how I can get the tracking to be a little bit better, which means I just have some fine tuning to do. Don't fuck up. You gotta get back to work, have fun. All right, go enjoy your work. Wood sorrel is also great. It looks like clover, but it has yellow flowers. Fascinating, fascinating. That's the meme from Inside Out. What meme from Inside Out? If I were any Battle Network character, who would you be? Land, probably, because he's the one you play. You have a lot of weird hobbies and weird fun facts? Hell yeah! Quirky is fun. Did the Emperor abandon us? The Emperor abandoned us. I think maybe I overshot. Hold on, I think I can do one quick fix. So if that goes to there, we're normally hovering around here. What's a way that I can fix that? Maybe I fix it in here. I even said I didn't want to fix things live, but I can do simple fixes live. Let's try this. And this. I think everything's okay with that then. Yeah? Yeah? So far, so good. Is there a way to just, like, copy? Doesn't look like there is. You guys can't see what I'm doing, and that's okay. All right, that might be a little bit better. Maybe not a lot better, but at least a little bit. It might also just have to do with the way that I like how I look at the camera, right? Where I'm always looking to the left, and maybe it's just tracking to the left a little funny. Anyways. What other jackets do I have in my closet? How many you got for your avatar? Endless customization or limitations? I have limitations. I don't have an endless. Technically, we could make the argument that I could just change the color. Like, how many hoodies do I have? Well, how many colors are in the rainbow? I could technically do it that way. But if you want to be like actual distinct jackets, right now it's 2. And that's the limitation because that is what I decided to set up. Are there more? Yeah, there's more. But 2 for now. The I was in a band meme. Oh, that's from Inside Out. Oh, I remember now. The father said that. We were in a band. Actually, I'm gonna double check that wood sorrel is what you're thinking of. Always fact check. Good on you. Yeah, you finally finished Pokemon Platinum. Good on you. Now you debate between going backwards and finishing the old games or finally getting Legends Arceus. When you say old games, I feel like you're gonna piss me off. So what do you mean by old games? It was wood sorrel. Good. A big difference between wood sorrel and clover is that the wood sorrel, several leaves and flowers can be attached to one stem. Ah. Thing is, if you go to Legends Arceus, you'll procrastinate on playing yellow and fire red. Okay, so you mean like the OGs when you mean old games. Okay, that makes me feel better. I was about to say, I understand. It's just how the world works. Time goes on. But the fact that I have met individuals and they used this phrase of, oh yeah, I played old Pokemon. I'm like, oh cool, what version did you start with? And they're like, Pearl. I'm sorry. I'm not following what you said because you said you started with old Pokemon, but then you said Pearl. That's a contradiction. I'm like, no, Pearl's old. I'm like, When you say old Pokemon, you speak to me in red and blue versions. If your Pokemon game has the picture of a legendary on it, it ain't fucking old. I need no camera. I'm still looking good. Ah, that's considerate of you. You just face planted into your pillow so you might go to sleep. It's a good call. If it's too late, go to sleep. Time zones are a bitch. Pokemon Yellow, Fire Red, and Emerald, you call them as old as compared to the rest of the games. They are on Game Boy platforms versus Nintendo systems. Game Boy is a Nintendo system, but you know what I mean. I mean, like, by name. We're not talking about the Nintendo DS or the Nintendo 3DS, which is just the new version of Nintendo DS, let's be honest. But we're not talking about Nintendo handhelds. We're talking about Game Boy branded Nintendo systems. I will allow third generation back to be considered old. Wood sorrel is a very beautiful alternative to clover. It's good if you want yellow flowers instead of the white. You give it clover. Also, wood sorrel is usually more vibrant. It feels weird that Diamond Pearl Platinum is considered old because that means you're old. Yep. It is an inevitability. We will all reach at a certain age, and at that certain age, we are old. Also, DPPL was considered old when Black White came out, which feels weird. I mean, it was one generation older. That's crossing a line. Alistair, g'day, welcome on in. Get some rest, Leon. Thanks for stopping by. VOD's always here if you want to see what you missed. Which isn't going to be much. I'm just going to be yapping everyone's ears off. You still have the Atari just for the old school ping pong? Hell yeah. Kind of on its last leg, so you might just end up casting in resin. Oh, cool. Like preserving its history of how old it is might have to make it safe. I'm so conflicted because you want to play Arceus, but if you play Fire Red, for example, it will hold you till next month, so you'll have more money to spend on it. How have I been? I've been doing all right, Alistair. Right now, I have the problem where my model is a little too expressive and a little too sensitive to eye movements right now. Hold on. I think I know a fix. I know a very simple fix. This isn't going to solve everything, but it will solve a lot. There we go. I can't believe I didn't think about that. Okay, that's... Oh, right, because I'm doing the 2 fixes at once. I was about to say, something doesn't feel right at this moment. But, I now... Oh, I need to figure out what's moving that. That's a little unfortunate. Maybe there's a way that... I might actually just reach out to the... I might reach out to Kyoki on that one. Because that might just be a system setting. Or, like, a model setting by itself. The fact that, like... And, I mean, we want the eyes to respond to the eyebrows that way, right? But just not if eye is closed. If eye is closed, please ignore parameter. You know what I mean? That's the part that I need to find out. Sorry, I took a tangent. I blacked out. Are we back? We're back. You think you're gonna go sleep before you'll say something that will be either stupid or be against the channel laws? I respect that choice. We don't want you breaking the laws just because you're sleep deprived. But go get some rest, Pyro. Thanks for stopping by. Go play Fire Red. It's a classic, obviously. Or go play Soul Silver, an even better classic. You should say this, but yesterday, close to night or midnight, we had hail. Oh shit. So freaking loud, and it was when everyone's asleep at that time of all things. It sucks when that happens, when you get woken up because of a storm. Ta-ta to citizens, ta-ta to citizens! Remember being on the school playground when Black and White and XY were popular and hearing people call Diamond, Pearl, Platinum old, and it felt so weird because why is it old when it's still relatively recent? Because it's not the newest thing. Like, there's a difference of calling something the old one, meaning like the previous, just because it's not the newest model, and actually referring to it as old. There is a big difference there. Like, I'm okay with saying, oh yeah, the newest set, and then, like, in terms of cards, or like the newest version, and then referring to the other stuff as the older versions, not old. So not the old games, but the older games. Comparative, it's perfectly fine, but speaking in absolute, no. See, I mean, I was much older when I was in school. I was playing Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue. Be checking out Arknight's Enfield. That's a very popular game right now that I am not gonna touch. I've been trying out Black Myth Wukong, another banger of a game. Got good taste. You haven't been playing any Pokemon games since Pokemon Heart Gold. That's another classic one. I think technically the last version game that I played was not Heart Gold, but it was a mod to Heart Gold called Sacred Gold. And it's great. I'm not very far, but it's great. It was from Children from the Playgrounds because kids see anything older than a week as old. Wish you had hail. Is it too warm where you are? Also, Pyro, you're doing a poor job of falling asleep. Almost sounded like it's the end of the world as we know it. Damn. You were woken by sirens for the third time this week. I'm so sorry, man. That's awful. Your sleep schedule is so effed up because of those damn sirens. Omi, what's up? G'day, g'day, welcome on in. The Gundam card game's getting interesting? I didn't even realize Gundam had a card game. Is it another... Is that a Namco or Bandai? Does Bandai handle the Gundam game? I wouldn't be surprised, but also Bandai's got their hands full right now. They're slacking on the Digimon and they're kind of going a little too hard on the One Piece. Only because who gave up? Was it Pokemon card? I don't want to say Sharks. It does now. It is Bandai. Damn. They have a lot on their plate then. From what I'm hearing, because I have a buddy who's not into playing the One Piece game, but he likes to collect the One Piece card game. He's been telling me that a bunch of Pokemon card slingers, and that's how I'm going to phrase it, because they're not players. They're the ones that have been buying out the Pokemon trading card game because they see it as a money grab. I know of a fix that I can do here. Quick. Please hold slightly. There we go. Much more straightforward. I am way too obsessed with trying to get these eyes to work properly. All right, I can do that face. Fuck it. Maybe I'll just own it. And I just need to understand that I can't emote with my eyebrows with my eyes closed because model no likey. How am I doing? I'm doing all right. I'm nervous that I don't have topics to talk about, so I'm trying to talk about anything. And I'm also sleepy as hell. I'm really, really tired. Work has been kicking my ass this week. You acknowledge you have a weird perception of time compared to your peers, but nothing from 2006 to 2010 felt old to you like it did most kids. You don't think it should have felt old? Yeah. Again, maybe just fixating on the true definition of a word and it was not used in that proper manner. Where instead of, what's the words I'm looking for? Like old meaning objectively old. Old meaning not new. That reminds you, oh yeah, that reminds you, you were at Hot Topic recently and you found out there's Neopets trading cards. Really? And sold at Hot Topic of all places. Fascinating. Apparently when you're streaming on Twitch through your PS5, you were told by Twitch that you had to do an 8-hour stream for... That's weird. That sounds suspicious. You shouldn't be required to stream for any amount of time on any platform through any means. That sounds very suspicious. I'm gonna stay away from PS5s and Twitch. That's why I stream to YouTube from a PC. You're a bit sad the thing you wanted to share in my DC ended up not happening yet, so hopefully sometime next week. Wait, my DC? What's my DC? Why can't I translate that? Discord, got it. But it hasn't happened yet? Oh, shit. Well, I'm glad you got some news around the corner. Now you got me curious. Do I have to think on this? I'm quite curious now. Chin, get in the hand! Get in the hand! Fuck. Can you ask a math question? Always. That the answer might be obvious, but you haven't picked up on that answer as to why it's like that? Sure, I'm intrigued. You still plan to get a PC soon? Hell yes. But be careful with pricing because I was literally talking to a friend about this yesterday, about how PC prices are in the absolute worst spot right now. I missed your joke, did I? Joke incoming. Uh-oh, I'm scared to read that. I'm going to not touch that one. I see your joke. I'm not going to read that one out loud. Any kind of joke that's based on race is something I stay away from. It's like the old classic jokes from the 40s when they say, like, a priest, a rabbi, and you just stop right there. It's like, nope, that's going to cross a line. We're not going to let you finish that joke. Why does 2 plus 2 times 4 gotta equal 10? Why can't it equal 16? Like, I know you gotta do the multiplication first, but it's so confusing to you. Wait. You ask him a question that the answer might be obvious, but you haven't picked up on the answer as to why it's like that. Oh, for some reason I blended the word. There was a joke in the math. Don't know why that happened. So the reason 2 plus 2 times 4 has got to equal 10 is because of the rules of the order of operations. And the reason that order exists and the reason that doesn't equal 16 is because math had to establish order so that when we wrote things down and to imply to the other person, this is how I want it done, they would follow the same rules. So to quick answer your question about like 2 plus 2 times 4, actually, fuck it. I make a joke about this every single time we go on or we stream. Hold on. But I seem to not be able to... Why didn't that change everything? I can't go on stream and do a just yapping without doing a little paint. So hold on, we're gonna swap over here because visuals are important for math. All right, so we're gonna jump over here quick. We're gonna remember how to do this. That'll work. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's see. There we go. All right. So the reason 2 plus 2 times 4 equals 10. This is because the order of operation does say, please do multiplication first and then do your plus 2. So you get 2 times 4 is 8, plus 2 is 10. Now, you have a very valid question. Why is it not 2 plus 2 is 4 times 4 equals 16? Why isn't it like that? The reason it isn't like that is a very simple one. We established order of operation. I understand where I went wrong. I drew on the whiteboard. That's on me. There we go. Go back to 10. There we go. 2 plus 2 times 4. So, for example, the reason it equals 10 is because we ran into the problem as mathematicians of what happens if I sent this to you saying, hey, here's how to do the math, 2 plus 2 times 4. And what we found out is people were doing it in different orders. Like, they found out if I did 4 times 2 plus 2, I would get 10, but if I did 2 plus 2 times 4, I would get 16. And that's not okay, because we already had rules that stated the order of addition, the order of multiplication didn't matter, but the order of obviously doing addition or multiplication does matter. So we established the rule of the order of operations, your good old PEMDAS. And we did that so that when we wrote things to other individuals, it was easier to explain what we meant. So 2 plus 2 times 4 is equal to 10 because the order of operations exists. And because the order of operations exists, everybody who solves this correctly will get 10 every single time. Now, to answer your question of like, why can't it be 16? Well, it can. We just have to order the next part of the order of operations and throw the parentheses in there, because sometimes you do want to do your addition before your multiplication. So we introduced the rule of order of operations of you can use parentheses to break the standard other orders of the MDAS, the exponents, multiplication / division, and then addition and subtraction. So parentheses allow you to break the order rules, And that's where PEMDAS comes from, but that's it. Still feels weird, but that's already a much more coherent answer than what your brother gave you, so you think you understand better now. It's purely just a rule. Like, it's not logic, it's just a rule. I would start, like, spewing out, like, English rules as, like, a counter example or as an example, but English breaks the rules all the time. Here's one. The classic I before E except after C. So, in, like, Pierce, is it spelled E-I-R-C-E? Or is it I-E-R-C-E? Well, it's this one, because we have the rule. Why isn't it the other way? Because the rule says so. And that's literally it. Because obviously English breaks this rule all the time because we have things that are, like, weird. And it breaks the rule. Because English is dumb. Math, on the other hand, math is nothing but rules are rules. So what we had to establish was something that wasn't, what's the word I'm looking for? Bifurcating is not the correct word. Ambiguous. We had to come up with rules that if one person followed it, everybody would follow it. And what you just saw with the order of operations is just one of those outcomes. What about half of 4 plus 4? That's 4. What did the side duck say to the other? Where are all these jokes coming from? You think you're going to keep it a secret for now, but you think I'll like it? Ooh, I'm still excited for said secret. It's not that racist, though, is it? Unfortunately, that joke was very much over the line of racism. It wasn't religious. It was racist, though. This has it had nothing to do with religion. Oh, no. This has nothing to do with religion. That is a frightening thing to read first. Nope, gonna avoid that one. Half of 4 plus 4 is 6. Disagree, but I see where you're coming from with that. Or says, you guess I was in the room. Apparently your brother followed his explanation up with TLDR, PEMDAS is the lesser of two evils, and you just didn't see it, but hey, at least you understand now. Yay! I wish your math teachers were half as good at explaining math as me. You might not have had 10 plus years of vendetta against math otherwise. As I described, and the reason I've been a math tutor for way too long is your math teacher is like the general doctor, your family doctor. They have to be an expert, or not an expert, but they have to be knowledgeable on everything. Your math tutor gets to be a surgeon. They get to hone in on directly how to explain something, and they are the expert of their exact field. Can I teach anything other than math? Hell no. But am I very good at teaching exactly math? Yes. Hi, g'day. Hold on, I got some messages. The answer was it was an M7 priest. I don't know what that is. Is that a weapon? But anywho, we can head back here now. No more whiteboard time. No more need for whiteboard. Oh, hey, Crit, I'm just curious, but when you started playing Mega Man games, what was your first to each games? The first one of each series, but my start to playing Mega Man, actually, I can actually explain this. There was only one Mega Man game that I played prior to streaming. M7 Priest is an American self-propelled gun produced during World War II. I did not know that. For Mega Man, Mega Man X2 was the first and only Mega Man game I have played not on stream. Meaning, like, I played on stream, you know what I mean. Was the only Mega Man game I played prior to streaming the series. And that's why I wanted to play the Mega Man X series, because I had such fond memories of X2. And I had a lot of fun playing through the Mega Man X series. It was a lot of fun. But then Battle Network I played just because I enjoyed the X series. We've been playing the normal Mega Mans because we need breaks in between each Battle Network. But yeah, I was not like a Mega Man fan or a Mega Man like hardcore gamer with fond memories of Mega Man through my childhood and through my years of growing. I played one game when I was young and I was fond of it. That was it. I meant to ask my first reaction. Well, I'll give you an honest one. My first reaction to the X series, nostalgic. Even though X1 is what we played, X2 is so nostalgic. And even X1 feels like X2. Like that Mega Man X Super Nintendo style playthrough felt wonderful. That felt amazing. The Battle Network games, challenging at first, but enjoyable. The original Mega Man games, fucking brutal. They kicked my ass for hours before I finally started to get the feel for them. And even after that, there was a few things that I drew the line of like, I hate this. Like fighting my clone, and I think that was in the OG Mega Man. Felt rough as hell. I didn't like the strategy of switch to a weapon that the clone can't fire, make him jump into the air, switch weapons during said motion, shoot him because he can't shoot unless he's on the ground, and then switch back to the weapon that cannot fire before he hits the ground. That's a lot of tech for a game that came out before 1990. Hope I try Mega Man Legends soon. I don't know if soon will be on the agenda for Mega Man Legends. Maybe it will be on the Mega Man agenda eventually, though. Because unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, we have started the Mega Man Battle Network section of our Mega Man times, which means we have a lot of Mega Man Battle Network in our future. And we have OG Mega Man to break up the giant amount of JRPGs that we're going to be playing back to back to back to back to back to back to back. They're going to release Mini-Man and he's going to lose his mind. No, well, M for Mini and W for Wumbo. So clearly we need Winnie. Most of your math teachers were just confusing anyways. It does happen. Your kindergartner and third grade teachers were good at teaching math in an understandable way, though. Yeah, it's not for everybody. And that's what I mean when I describe math teachers of, like, they have to be that general doctor. And the teaching style has to be explain it once in a way that 70% of the class will understand. Hope that 30% that didn't understand it asks a question. And then you can use that question to explain it in a second way that will hit 70% of that remaining. Which means 9% of your class won't get it. I'm making up these numbers, but that's generally how being a teacher works. And then you hope those 9% seek help outside of class. Your brother just compared PEMDAS to Roblox Slender. Should you bite him? I'm gonna answer that in two ways. On one hand, I understand and respect your acts of aggression towards your brother. Secondly, don't bite him. But express that you do want to bite him and that he deserves physical repercussions for the words that he says. But do not give said repercussions. Just warn him that he deserves them. Battle Network is very long. It is indeed. Each of them are very long. Number 2 is a lot longer than number 1. Reminded of paraphrasing. My professor said that only 10% passes class, and you were like, oh, so you're a shitty professor then. That's actually accurate. A good professor and a lazy professor, so they're on both ends of the spectrum, have a high pass rate. You shouldn't be, I teach a tough class. It's like, you teach a tough class poorly. But not every smart person is cut out to be a professor. You can become a professor, and specifically a research professor, but not everyone is good at explaining. Why am I getting bombarded with messages? Hold on. That's why I'm being bombarded with messages. Remember how everybody on the Discord would know this. I mentioned that I might have made the schedule this week a little too hastily because a game just came out today and I want to play it badly. In the worst way, I want to play Slay the Spire 2. And it came out today and I'm excited to play it. I'm going to be playing it a lot this weekend, but I want to play it now. And maybe if I was a smarter man, I would have scheduled Slay the Spire 2 for today. Just so I would have had an excuse to play it. I'll play it a lot tomorrow. And yeah. When you were having math problems in middle school, you tried going to your brother for help because he's a math nerd. Hell yeah! And had the best grades in his math class, but unfortunately he didn't know how to dumb it down for you. And see, not to use the exact phrase of dumb it down, but explain it in a way that is understandable to other learning styles is a very difficult, I'm going to call it a talent. I think it's a skill you can learn, but usually it's a talent. And where's that professor now? As always, you have no idea. Probably closer than we think. That is an X7 reference. The reason I am such a good math tutor and have had so much success, I don't want to be bragging I'm a great math tutor. The thing that I bring to it is a level of understanding of math, not to the point where it's I understand it, therefore I know it. It's I understand it so well that I can explain it in multiple ways. And that's where my strength in math comes from. So I can do things like, hey, let's learn this topic. I'm going to try to teach it this way. Does this make sense? It doesn't. Okay, what's your learning style? Let's figure out what does work for you, and then let me try to explain it in that sense. And sometimes there are some strange learning styles. I mean, there's obviously, you find the categories of, are you a visual? Are you an auditory learner? What makes it click for you? Do you need it related to the real world? Are you okay with abstraction? Do you do memorization? All of these things are different learning styles. But I still remember one student in particular because this individual very much didn't like the topic of math, which is why they were struggling. They were smart. I could tell that immediately. But they had the classic, not classic for everybody, classic, you'll understand what I mean by this, of I don't like it, therefore I don't care. And because I don't care, I don't put any effort into it, and I suck at it because of that. It's not really a classic if I have to describe it with a novel. But I did my absolute damnedest to relate the math problems, not just to this individual's interests, but also tried to explain it in a way of how it was going to be useful. Because I was hoping that would work. And then I think I eventually just bit the bullet and said, here's the funny thing about school. And it's the thing that once you get this moment of clarity with school, you see it in such a different light. I've heard people, especially badgering math, and that gets under my skin because that's my topic. They're like, when the fuck am I going to use this? Show of hands, any adults out there, anybody over the age of 18, in your day-to-day life, have you ever used the quadratic formula? I already know the answer. Unless you're me, the answer is fuck no, you haven't. Because why on earth would you ever need to know the quadratic formula in your day-to-day life? That's the funny thing about school, though. It's not meant to teach you how to live. That's what your parents do. School isn't meant to teach you how to stay alive. If it was, we would all be done by the age of 9. And then we would be thrown out just to do anything, whether that's farm labor or any kind of labor. School isn't meant to teach you how to wake up in the morning, feed yourself, and pay bills. That's not what school is for. School is for providing an education. Now, what goes into that education? Up to you. There's some general things that everybody should be aware of, like understanding your language, understanding math because there's logic behind it, like basic math. You don't need all the advanced level math. But there's a second layer to what school does. It shows that if you can graduate from school, both basic, get a high school diploma, or go to college and get a degree of your choosing, The reason both the diploma and the degree have so much, I'm going to call it bullshit on top of it. Like, when I got my bachelor's degree, 120 credit hours is required to graduate. Only 40 of those were math. So that means only 1/3 of my entire, like, college classes was math. What was the other 2/3? It was proof that I will do things that I don't like. One of the things a degree shows to, like, employers and to other people is, wow, you suffered through shit, but you did it. And that's an important skill to have in life. Is there a class that you don't like in school? Are you getting bad grades because you just don't care and you don't see when it's going to be useful? Well, guess what? If you can go to someone and say, I hated this class, got an A+, that shows so much character, especially to future employers. To be like, well, I was going to hire you for this job, but it does a lot of things that you don't like to do, and I don't want an employee who's not going to do what they're told. Therefore, I'm going to pass on you. Versus the person that got that A+ in the bullshit class is like, this proves to me that even if you don't like something, you're willing to hunker down and do it. And that's important. And of course, the other thing about it is you have no idea, or technically the people teaching you have no idea what you're gonna like and what you're not. So they open you up to a bunch of fields through like elementary, middle, and high school to try to find something that interests you. Then you can go major in that in college if you want to go on to secondary education. But if you don't, at least you got a broad education, which means you have a larger foundation that could be useful in your future. It's not about exactly being useful, but it could be useful. And it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. School is meant to prepare you for working in a factory. This is true. I think it's changed lately, but yes. Throughout the, like, I think since the 1940s through probably the 2010s, roughly, school was primarily meant to train you for factory life. That is actually fact. Your brother might have, he uses a lot of math stuff in his day-to-day life that nobody would even think to use. Same. But that goes without saying. Because the society desperately need to let people who are weirdly into things do the things they're weirdly into. Yes, we're starting to get there. There's a lot more open-ended learning in current education structures. Like if someone's gonna have the time of their fucking life playing in the sewer and cleaning it up, they should be allowed to do that, 100%. Well, not nobody, just most people who are only decent at math. First stream with the home record crit model. First yapping stream with the glow up model. I'm not going to call it the home wrecker model. That you can call it whatever you want. I am not going to adopt that nickname. You think school should do a mixture though? It has too much of those filler classes and you still don't know how to live, and you don't mean breathe and get food and stuff, but like taxes and documents, etc. I will admit, I do think there does need to be a heavier focus on the, like, maybe just in high school, demand that everybody takes not a business course, but I don't want to call it a government class, but you know what I mean. A how to stay alive in society course. And one of the things it would teach you is like how to apply for a credit card, how to balance your bank account, just like standard budgeting techniques. Not how to spend your money, just how to be aware of what money is needed and get a better gauge of like, how much do I need to make versus spend to stay alive? And then teach things like, what are taxes? What's a fair amount of taxes? Maybe the advanced version of this course is like how to do investments and stock stuff. I do agree that I think a course like that would be very beneficial as a requirement in all public education. You forgot to call it the yapping stream? You're bad? That's okay. You're back. Welcome back. The what model? Red Mage likes to call this the home wrecker model because I'm pretty. Don't you think so? I just had a bad idea. I'm not going to do it. Shiny. The worst part is, it wasn't that you didn't care about math. You wanted to pass. It was just mildly disinterested. That happens. But the biggest issue was anything larger than a basic equation would jumble into something incomprehensible. Yes. That actually reminds me of one of the most, what's the words I'm looking for? Contradictive? Is that what I'm going for? Contradictory? A contradiction occurs. Where in math, there were always two questions that people hated, or I always had these major two complaints as I was tutoring. And that this stuff is useless. When would it actually apply to real life? And I hate word problems. And that makes me laugh every time. I'm like, you can't complain about both of those. That word problem is literally it trying to make it about real life. And you're like, I don't want a word problem. They're too long. I don't understand what's going on. Just give me the damn equation. And then I give you the damn equation. And it's like, when is this useful? Bitch, I will slap you. You think you probably had an unpopular opinion about taxes? That being that billionaires should be taxed out of existence with extreme prejudice? That is not an unpopular opinion. In fact, I am 90% sure that the majority of the population agree with that. Even historically, actually, fun fact, I think it was around the 1920s or maybe even the 1880s, but sometime around there. Okay, Mr. Homewrecker. Bleh. It's late, you gotta dip. Enjoy the yapping. Definitely will. Good night, Omi. Thanks for hanging out for as long as you did. I remember watching a video about the history of taxation, and it was mostly just the balance of wealth in the world. I forget what year it started. I think it was around 1960s, 1970s is when American wealth specifically started to undergo very bad changes for the general populace. But there was a time that even millionaires were being taxed upwards of 70%. You can't tax billionaires because they don't hold their money in money, but in assets. Also true. But it's also not fair to be like, I'm a billionaire, and it's like, cool, we're gonna tax you. It's like, no, give me a tax break. You should incentivize me to be richer, because when I'm rich, I spend things on the economy. And that's their lie, because they don't. In order to become a billionaire, you have to be the greediest, most horrible human being on the planet. We should not be catering to these individuals. But we're not going to get political here, because I will go off on a tangent and I will get canceled because of it. Do I have any pets? Yes. I have Rowan, the emperor of the Rowan Empire. You're going to clarify what you mean, actually. You know how words sometimes warp and jumble up for people with dyslexia? You have that, but with math. I think that's just still called dyslexia. But I've seen that. Basic algebra drove you up a wall back in the day, but you still passed somehow. You know, basic algebra also... Oh, I'm going to sound so cocky for a second, and I apologize. But basic algebra also gave me a little bit of trouble when I first learned it. But you got to give credit to the second grader that I was when I was first taught algebra. Because literally, I think maybe a month before I learned algebra, I learned what division was. It's unpopular with the crowd who has the authority to make it happen, and that's all that matters. Yes, well, not even that, just the loudest voices right now don't agree with that opinion. Despite your math issues, though, you finished your final state test with the best grades in the school? Hell yes! Well done, Neko. Sometimes you just gotta jam out. Big stretch. I do need to find a some fine tuning on the eye movement is what I'm figuring out, because maybe the eyebrows are just a little too sensitive. Maybe that's what I need to change. You're jamming out after work as we speak? Hell yes. You thought it was dyscalculia? Oh, that might be it. You hope you spelled that right? I wouldn't know. or at least a symptom of it, but it's been a minute since you read up on it. That's actually true. Dyslexia might be specific to letters. I am no expert on this. But I have had students that had very, very similar problems. Man, I miss teaching math. I mean, I'm still technically a math tutor. It's just, I'm not actively pursuing schools and tutoring ventures and saying like, hey, spread the word as much as you can. I want more students. I would like a student, maybe two. But also between work and streaming and trying to do video editing, I have enough hobbies eating up my time. I don't need another hobby of I have to math tutor on top of it. I right now have so much going on that I don't usually have time to rest, which is a classic VTuber problem. But usually it's not because of everything in my situation. Usually VTuber burnout occurs. And I say VTuber, technically it's streamer burnout. Just the up and coming, I want to become a professional streamer burnout occurs because they get the pressure of like, hey, I just left my job. I'm going to try to do this professionally. And they just hit the grind. They're like, I'm going to stream for 50 hours a week. That's insane, by the way. You shouldn't even stream 40 hours a week. 20 is a lot of streaming hours because you have so much work to do behind the scenes. Whether that's getting things set up, talking to individuals, video editing's a big one. So they just hit the grind and they burn out. It's really easy to burn out as a content creator. I barely make content. I live stream and that's the easiest form of content. You hit a button and you just act and do and play and say. You don't have to do any editing. You don't have to like find time to be like, oh, I need to watch this 6-hour video just to find out the parts that I want in it. So 6 hours and you don't do any work. All you do is just data gathering. You know, dyscalculia makes it hard to read equations in some ways. Honestly, you probably have that. It's sometimes comorbid with ADHD, so it wouldn't be shocking. Having those number bricks like that they give you in early grades help a bit. Okay. Most visual indicators are helpful for you when it comes to math, honestly. Yeah, okay, I remember those number bricks. Those were fun. What else? Let's see. I know this week is going to be a rather unique week, really. Like, obviously, we still have our Mega Mans on Wednesdays, and that already happened. I don't do many yapping streams too often because, again, I get nervous and kind of run out of things to talk about sometimes. But also, we have a karaoke going on this weekend. That'll be fun. There's quite a few songs that I've been practicing. Few that I need to practice in the next couple of days to make sure I'm ready for them. But yeah, we're gonna have some really fun new songs on the karaoke list. We're gonna have some classics on there too, because I'm gonna have to do some warm-ups. But this isn't gonna be themed like the last one where it was just all Disney stuff. This time it's just gonna be whatever we feel like singing. And by we, I mean me. Maybe we'll do another wheel where it's like, let's find out what we sing next, but I'm not sure. Remember, you think in 2024, one of those crit math lessons? Technically, I have never posted an official crit math lesson. I still need to figure out if I want to do that or not. The one on calculus, the visuals on the lesson help you understand it better. Oh, that's awesome. Oh yeah, I remember the calculus rant. That should be a crit math. Because I think that might need to be my first one, because that one is like legitimately how I teach calculus. Like, that isn't me borrowing other professors' objects. That is my interpretation of teaching calculus. Obviously, there is one other topic that I borrow a lot from where I learned it from in the, I think it was a number file video. Ever do statistics math crit? I have not, because statistics isn't math. Statistics is another field that uses numbers, but it is not math. Statisticians and I fight a lot. But this actually shocks a lot of people. I have never taken a single statistics course. I have a degree in math, and I have never taken a stats course. I'm just letting it sink in a little bit. Crit math time on the streams generally helped you a lot, so you personally feel compelled to encourage the creation of the crit math videos. Okay, I appreciate that. I forgot about the calculus one. That is a fun one to teach. The one I always remember, and the one that I would like want to do for a crit math video. I don't know if I could do them forever though. Is the problem? I'd have to release like only a couple, and maybe like a goal of like trying to release 10 of them. Because anything like more than that, oh my god. Okay, so there's a cheek smile too. That leads to some of the weird faces. Got it. Things for me to worry about. But the two that I have off the top of my head is one, the calculus one, which can't believe I forgot about that, and two, a topic and a lesson that I straight up learned from a number file video. So I would more or less just be reiterating their video, and that's talking about the infinite sum of the natural numbers. What does it equal, and why does it magically equal a negative fraction and not infinity? And also we could delve into the whole infinity is weird and nobody actually understands it topics as well. You regularly think about the calculus lesson because it's the one that helped you with the state test? Oh, cool! Like, legit helped, hell yeah! Look at that, having minor, or not even minor, having effects that I didn't realize I was having. That's why I was saying minor, but like, minor actions from me having effects on other individuals. That's really cool. That makes me happy to hear. Oh, why am I so tired? I need to go to the hyperbolic time chamber. Give me a hyperbolic time chamber where I can do a year in 24 hours. What would I do in that year? I would sleep for half of it, and for the other half, I would knock out a bunch of activities that I want to do, and then I will go to work tomorrow. That's what I need. I need the ability to catch up on sleep. I need the ability to catch up on video editing, because I think I have come to an unfortunate conclusion and decision, and that's, I don't think in my current state I have the energy or the drive to do full-on video editing. I will do shorts editing, but the part that I really like about this channel is the streams. That's where I have fun. Don't get me wrong, I also like video editing. I like making shorts, they're also enjoyable. But I think I am too far gone on how behind I am when it comes to video editing. Because I'm still working on my first video that I'm like trying to edit together. I'm only like 5 minutes into the video. If that. What video am I editing? My Subnautica playthrough. You know the one. The one from almost 3 years ago? It's a little behind. I probably should just stop working on it. And the thing is, I haven't worked on it recently. I just don't have the energy or drive to do these edits that I should. And because of it, I am 3 years behind on video edits. I wanted to do like 8 to 10 minute videos that are like compilations and cut downs of the streams, because I think that's the best way to advertise the streams, right? You gotta let people see and watch what the good parts of a stream are. And that way they can get an idea whether or not they want to hang out. And it's like, after watching an 8-minute video, like, this guy isn't funny. Well, good, then stay away from my channel, go spend your time elsewhere. But maybe, if you watch it, it's like, I enjoyed that. I laughed, I was entertained. I might want to go catch this guy live. Wonderful. That's a wonderful way for you to learn about what you want to see or not. Subnauseous. It's really incredible how things we don't even think about can affect people in such ways. Agreed. Okay. I might call it here. We've been yapping for an hour and a half. I don't know if I can make it the full 2 hours today. I'm a little on the sleepy, eepy, weepy side. So I think this is where we're gonna for the day. So on that note, I just want to say thank you all for dropping by and hanging out today. I hope you had fun. I know it's a little late for everybody, but I can feel my energy dropping, and I don't want to meet arbitrary time limits of like I stream until this time every day. It's more I start at a time and I have a time limit, but I don't have to reach it every time. And if you aim for an arbitrary time and you just don't have the energy, or if I can't be entertaining for it, it's not worth it. But I hope you had fun today. I know I had fun yapping. I wish I had more topics to talk about. We will have more fun on this weekend, because this weekend we're going to be singing some karaoke. It's going to be fun. I'm going to unarchive the video because copyright claims because all the songs. But I will leave you with this. A bunch of the songs I will be singing this weekend are going to be from Has Been Hotel, because me and Phantoms have been on a kick on that lately. And holy shit, there are some good songs in that. There's a lot of good songs, but there's some good songs to sing from that show. So I got quite a few new songs in the repertoire, and I look forward to being able to share them with all of you. You semi-subconsciously thought, crit EP time? Your dumbass brain combined it into creepy time? Oh, no! Don't do that. Has-Been songs are great. I love them, too. I mean, I've already sang Poison, but that's because I learned Poison before I ever watched Has-Been Hotel. It's hell of a, but you like 2 minutes notice except for the audience participation part. That's also, I love that song, too. 2 minutes notice is outstandingly good. Hell of a doesn't have as much songs, which is why Has-Been's like better to like pull from. But yeah, I've been on a Has-Been kick lately. I do love 2 minutes notice. Do you think YouTube would let me sing 2 minutes notice? I don't know. We'll see. I'll do some digging to see if that would be okay. There's a lot of questionable things in 2 minutes notice. But all right, everybody. I think this is where I'm going to call it for the day. I appreciate you hanging out. It's been a lot of fun. I'm actually just going to go lay down. I think I'm going to go check out Slay the Spire 2 for a little bit. Go chat with some buds. But I'm going to go to bed pretty soon here. That said, you're mainly just an orbiter of Has-Been Helluva because you don't want to pay for a subscription. You don't see why you should legitimately care about a gang of murdering thugs. I love Helluva Boss. I am disappointed because I also don't have an Amazon Prime account. But what was it? I think I ordered something off of Amazon, and getting Amazon Prime was cheaper than the actual shipping price. So I picked up a Prime for a month, canceled it immediately, enjoyed the exact same shipping price that I was going to pay anyways. And then in that month, I tried to watch as much Helluva and Has-Been as I could. And I did. I caught up. And then they started to come out with the new season as my month expired. Anyways, night chat, night chat, night crit, night Rowan, night light, night. Thanks everybody for hanging out. I hope it was fun. It was for me. So without further ado, from g'day to goodbye. I'm so sleepy, holy fuck. Have a good one, everyone, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye-bye now.